What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to get into some CFL. If it's your first time here, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. I mean, why not? Don't answer that question. Now, to get into the content for today, to my Canadian friends and CFL fans out there, I first want to say thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for helping me kind of understand your culture, understand what's going on with Canadian football and all of that. Listen, I know that I'm still not up to speed with everything, and my opinions might be kind of a little different. This is all new to me, so I do appreciate and thank you for just being kind and gracious with me as I'm learning. And again, I emphasize that I'm learning about Canadian football and the CFL and everything about it. And, this is coming from an American's perspective, so it's an outsider's perspective. So please, be gentle, be nice, but let me know down in the comment section kind of where I'm missing things and where I'm off, especially like with the whole, Eskimo thing. I didn't know, didn't have a clue. And I appreciate you guys letting me know, everything going on with that. So thank you. Now, let's move on because I think that there's some bright spots with the CFL here. And I do want to give the CFL their due because I know for some of you guys, I have been a little bit probably harsh, maybe, in my thoughts about the CFL and the owners of the CFL and those leading the CFL and what they're doing. And, maybe you think that it's not that justified. And maybe not. So maybe I've been a little hard on them. Today, I'm going to go a little bit easier on them. I'm going to give them a little bit of a break because I think that there's a couple things that are happening here that I think that are good things for the CFL that I do want to talk about and that I do want to discuss. Now, the first thing is, it's kind of a good thing, and it's kind of one that they just kind of have to do, and it's that they're allowing the CFL players to opt out. Now, the CFL and the CFL Players Association have come to an agreement. I don't really know the whole details of the agreement, but the idea is that they're going to allow players to, if they want to, opt out of their contract, and that they can go try to find, work elsewhere. Now, what will happen is those players that are with deemed veteran status will get a roughly around $6,700 stipend. So they'll get that, and so they'll get pretty much roughly $6,700, and then they can go on their merry way and try to, possibly make it on an NFL squad, possibly take their talents to the CFL, try that out. I don't know, but the idea is they can opt out. Now, for those who don't opt out, we don't know really what's going to happen with them. If they're all just going to get a base salary of, $22,000. Now, for the average CFL player, that's roughly somewhere around a third to a fourth of their salary. For the rest of them, that's a whole heck of a lot less. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to divvy that out, if, what they're going to get paid, those who stay with their contract and don't opt out of their contract. And that, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's a good thing that they got a deal worked out and that, guys can kind of choose their own destiny, so to say, and just decide where they want to go. I mean, if you're opting out, you're leaving $15,000 on the table, which in sports terms, that's not a lot of money, but to the average Joe, that's a heck of a lot of money to leave out there on the table, especially in unknown times like these. And, with not a whole lot of time, to really test the waters. So take it for what it's worth. I think it's a good move by the CFL. It's a good move by the Players Association. I guess it's really showing where the CFL is, money purposes. And, I've made this point before, and I really don't want to go down this road because I really do want to look at the bright side of things for the CFL. I think that the CFL, they're not in a good place right now. I know that we can sugarcoat things. I know that we can say things. I know that it's not the NFL. I know that this is not Americanized football. This is not an American sports business. This is a Canadian thing. This is a Canadian establishment. This is not looked at like an American sports league. I get that. Unfortunately, I'm an American. I look at things that way. And when you have a business, a sports business, you need to make money. And so when you're losing money, that's not a good thing. Remember, this is not amateur sports. This is professional sports, i.e., you're professional. You're getting paid for what you're doing. And if you're going to get paid, you're going to have a business, you need to be making money. And if they're losing $20 million in a year without everything that's going on right now, you need to figure something out and change your business model. Now, I will say that maybe I was a bit harsh on the whole idea of them canceling the season. I thought it might be a good idea to try to get a quick run in, try to do that, and maybe try to make something out of an opportunity that you might have that you could take advantage of. Obviously, they thought differently, and they thought that they were going to take significant, huge losses. And it looks like even them not having a season, they're going to take a large cut and a large loss with that. Now, I will say that they are starting to get creative, and I'm giving them, really trying to, give them some positives here and look at things from the bright side, because the CFL is trying to do things. And one of the things that they came out with today, with the past day or so, is that they've created this stand, I'm going to call it, that the Grey Cup is going to sit on. The Grey Cup, it's been around for 100 years. It is this symbol of Canadian football. It is what it is. And the idea is that they're creating this pillar. This stand. And the stand is made up of 10 pillars. And the 10 pillars are going to represent the 9 teams and then the expansion team that's going to be coming in Halifax that are holding up the Grey Cup. And the idea is that you, the CFL fan, can buy a spot, buy your name on these pillars. And the idea is that the CFL is getting held up on the pillars, on the backs of their fans, and really showing homage to their fans, and that the CFL, if it weren't for the fans, the CFL wouldn't be what it is, and really trying to make this a fan thing and led by the fan. And I really like this for a couple different reasons. I think that it shows, it's the CFL showing everyone that the fans are important. And it's not a lot of money, and it's probably not going to bring in a lot of money. Let's just speculate, okay? Let's say we can get on these pillars, I don't know. Let's say you can get, I'm just throwing things out there. You can get 10,000 names on there. If you could get 10,000 names at roughly around $400 a pop. I don't know if that's even feasible, possible, but I'm taking 1,000 names on a pillar, 10 pillars, that's 10,000. Right there, 400. So 400, 10 times 10,000. Maybe you can get, you're getting somewhere around, $4 million maybe. Let's say, let's round that down. Let's say you don't get quite that much, but $2 million all in all. That's if you can get roughly 10,000 people to pay that. I don't know if that's going to happen, if they can even do that. I really don't even know the fan base of the CFL. Again, I'm ignorant. I apologize. You can let me know down in the comment section what you think, what really the fan base is, how many people they're bringing in, this and that with it. It's not a lot of money in the scheme of things, but they were looking at about $5 million that it was going to take them to pay for salaries. So with guys opting out and things like that, getting somewhere between $2 to $4 million would pretty much pay for salaries, which I think is a good thing. It's a good move, and it's showing that the fans are holding up the league, and it's really the league paying homage to the fans and letting you have a real big piece of history and being part of a piece of history, which I think is really cool. You don't see that in a lot of leagues. You don't see, the fans being able to buy their way into things, which I think is kind of nice. Again, I get it. It's somebody buying into something and putting their money, but if you're going to be a big donor like that, you should be able to do that. And so what's going to happen is that, all of this season ticket holders, they're going to get a shot at it first, and they get a discount, $350. You get your name on there. And then after, the kind of that early bird thing for the season ticket holders expires, everyone else can get their name on it for $400. I think it's pretty cool if they can, like I said, if they can get around, 1,000, if they can get 1,000 names on a pillar, they can get 10,000 people to do that at $400 a pop. You're going to get roughly somewhere around, $3 to $4 million, which I think is pretty decent type of purse here. For that. Like I said, that could cover pretty much most of your salaries and that for the game. So I think that's good. Now, the second thing that I think that it's good is it's showing that you're committed to the future. And I think that the CFL really needed to do something with this, because right now things are all up in the air and it doesn't look good. You can say what you want. You can say that it's been around, it's going to stick around, it's going to be here. Don't worry about it. Don't say this. But things do not look good financially. And we've already talked about that. So to show that you're committed to the future, what better way than to give fans an opportunity to invest in it, which we've already talked about, but also, too, showing that you're investing in the fans. This whole thing with the 10 pillars, I think, is just fantastic. I think it's a great idea. It's showing you, listen, we are not changing where we're going. We're not changing what we're doing. We're still sticking to our guns. We're still going to bring you fans there in Halifax, the team. So it's showing the fans that are committed there in Halifax, we're coming to you. This doesn't change anything. We're going to reset things, come back 2021, and come back better than ever. And I think that that's a great look. It looks good. Throughout this thing, like I said, it's a bright point, and I don't want to diminish that. I want to give the credit where credit is due, and I'm giving you credit, CFL. I think this is a really good idea for you guys. I think it's going to bring in some revenue for you. How much? I don't know. How many of those fans are really going to take to that? I don't know. Again, I'm a newbie coming into this world. I really don't know how rabid the CFL fans are, and I do know that there are diehard CFL fans out there. And so we'll see what happens to see if, the fans really rally around the league and really, buy into this and that. So I think it's a really cool thing. And I just love the aspect of they're really showing a thanks to the fans and giving the fans an opportunity to be part of history and be part of the league. And then also, too, and the other thing is they're really showing, they're committed to the future of the league with the 10 pillars and with this, added new pillars thing, holding, the stand, holding thing up. And actually it does, I've seen the mock-ups of it. It looks gorgeous. I think it's going to be a really nice looking piece for them. I think it's going to be a really neat thing, especially when they give the Grey Cup out in 2021 to, and have that for the team. I think it's really going to be a special thing to whatever team wins the Grey Cup next year. So I think that this is a really neat thing, and it's a really neat way to think outside of the box. So I want to give the CFL credit where credit is due. You guys did a really good job with this one. Now we'll see how they market it and see how well it does, because that's really where the test really lies now, is that it's a neat concept, but will it actually bring in revenue where they need revenue? And we'll see where that happens. Now, the question is, what do you think? I always want to know what you think. Let me know down in the comment section. Let's continue the conversation down there. Let's have fun, and you guys can continue to enlighten me on everything CFL and a little bit of Canadian culture in there. I appreciate you being patient with me, and I appreciate you guys, teaching me new things. I love learning new things. All right, so let me know down in the comment section what you think. All right, guys, let's get on out of here, because I know that you're busy, and I know that I'm busy. So have a good night. Bye.